Did Shams just try to rig the NBA draft to make millions of dollars? It's a conspiracy theory that has the whole internet in an uproar. You can bet on anything when it comes down to sports. Game stats, championship odds. But more interestingly, even selections in the NBA draft. And in the last draft, it was a no-brainer who the Spurs are going to pick at 1. But for the rest of the draft, nothing was set in stone, which meant that betting on anything would be like throwing blindly on a dartboard. But in the weeks leading up to the draft, another pick started to become a given. The Charlotte Hornets picking Alabama's Brandon Miller at number 2, with several sources confirming that the Hornets are all but set on the guy to pair with LaMelo Ball. So betting odds for Miller to go at number 2 skyrocketed, even getting as high as minus 470 a day before the draft, meaning you'd have to bet $470 just to win $100, which also meant betting on that pick became a lot more boring. Bad news for sportsbook companies. Enter Shams Charania, the NBA insider who battles Woj for breaking news. And a couple hours before the draft, Shams drops a bombshell, tweeting that Scoot Henderson was now gaining momentum to go number 2 in the draft, and that the Hornets were torn over Scoot and Miller, which flipped the odds on its head. Now Scoot was suddenly the minus 900 favorite to go number 2, but of course, we all know who actually went second overall that night, which begs the question, why would one of the most reliable voices in NBA news tweet something like this hours before the draft, out of nowhere? Especially when Woj or any other NBA insider didn't say anything remotely similar. Well, conspiracy theorists on the internet were quick to point out that Shams is a FanDuel partner. FanDuel, of course, is one of the biggest sports betting companies out there, and Shams just so happens to be paid by FanDuel to be a regular panelist on their NBA show. But did Shams really just rig the system? We don't really know for sure, but we do know that one Shams tweet, seemingly out of nowhere, made the company work for what is likely millions of dollars.